solid as they come. What you see is what you get.
That's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
Our relationship is really important. I owe much of my career to him.
There he is! The Prince of Darkness! What a beautiful family portrait this is!
I don't think you can separate Undertaker from Kane.
They're vital parts of each other.
Kane is alive, Undertaker! A slam into the casket! The Undertaker is in that casket!
One of the greatest on-running stories I think WWE's ever told.
Undertaker and Kane combined make the most destructive force in the history of the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, we haven't talked to each other in a little while, so I just want to see how he's doing.
It's just fun to sit down with guys that were in the trenches with you, went through the struggles and traveled up and down the road with, and it's just enjoyable to kind of relive those days.
We have witnessed a war that is far from over.
How you doing, man?
How are you, bro? I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, man, of course.
We actually gonna tell stories?
I guess. What do you want to talk about?
I will introduce to you now my mystery partner. I give you the Undertaker. The Undertaker, the mystery partner, is now revealed. I never heard of him. Take a holy cow!
I can't believe it's been 30 years since your debut. Survivor Series 1990.
Yeah.
Came out with Bruce Pritchard, AKA Brother Love. And it shocked the world because, like, who's this cat? Big, huge dude, super athletic.
Oh, look at this! Undertaker on 325 pounds. Up to the top. Look at that!
I remember watching on TV one time, man, you're choking the guy in the corner and you're actually like hissing. And I got goosebumps because I was like, okay, I don't know if this cat's, I don't know what's going on here, but this cat's scaring me, right?
He's a little different.
Yeah.
And that character was different.
Well, you look at that. No, you look at that. I don't like to look at that. You look at that.
Rest in peace.
The development of the character was like, so I studied all the great slashers, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th and Michael Myers from Halloween and even Freddy Krueger. And it's like, okay, so I'm kind of these guys, but with a little bit more personality. I felt the character and it really became second nature.
You may not remember this. I think the first time that we ever met was like Glen Falls, New York or something like that. And I was just up doing a tryout
match, right?
Yeah.
This is the real king, baby. This is the real king.
And it's the first time I'd ever seen you in person. And I was scared. Because you had all your makeup and stuff on, and I was like, oh God, that's the Undertaker, and he really looks like the Undertaker.
Yeah, what year was that? What, 95, 94?
Nah, man, I think that was probably like 93.
Oof,
actually, I just started in the business. I was terrible.
I was scary all the time then.
And then we skip ahead a little bit. You came to Smoky Mountain a couple times when I was there, and you did a couple shows for Smoky Mountain, if I remember. And then we had our match early August of 1995.
And this can really serve to psych out a guy, can it? Unabomber has to keep his composure right now.
Yeah, I was stoked. When you're there, you're always looking for somebody to come along that you can work with.
Right.
And here's this guy who's like, whoa, he's every bit as big as me, bigger.
Leg drop on The Undertaker. What a move.
You know, and I'm thinking, I'll be damned, that guy can walk and chew gum. I can do something with him.
Thanks for setting the bar so high.
Well, hey, the bar was set. You had nothing to do with you. The bar had already been set for me.
Both of these guys, for their height and their weight, move so well in the squared circle.
I remember I was excited because you were on a heck of a run as Unabomb down there. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I'm not one to brag, but I'm pretty sure that place was sold out that night.
It was sold out.
Trying to cinch up that tombstone, pile driver connects.
And I thought we had a great match, and yeah, I was really excited for you to come up.
Yeah.
I really wasn't too excited with your character.
Yep.
Next.
I think I had more than one discussion early with Vince about, like, man, you handcuffing this guy.
Dr. Isaac Yankem, DDS.
How did he come up with Isaac Yankem? Did you ever go to dental school? Or because that's usually how, if you made the mistake of saying something.
It's obsessed.
When I interviewed with Vince, you know, I went to the house, right? And Bruce was there, and Pat Patterson was there, J.J. Dillon was there. I remember Vince sitting there in his chair and asking me, well, do you have any special talents? And, you know, I didn't. And I was like, well, I sing in the shower pretty good. And as soon as it came out of my lips, I was trying to suck it back in. Like, oh my gosh, why did I say that? Because you know how it was then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like if you had some kind of crazy little thing, it's gonna be your gimmick, and that's just the way it was. And I couldn't get it. I was trying, and I just backpedaled. I was like, no, I cannot sing, you know. And then somebody else is saying, what do you like to sing? And I'm like, I can't sing. Not even in the shower can I sing. I was a nervous wreck.
Right now, we've got Isaac Yankem.
But I do remember having discussions with Vince. I was like, are you sure that's a big dude, you know? And I know it's what's so creepy about it. He's so big, and if he wanted to rip your teeth out, and I'm like, oh boy, you know, Isaac Yankem. I'm not even sure I'm gonna commit that name to memory.
Yeah, it was, I didn't either. That was actually one of the biggest disappointments of my entire life. I go up to the office and meet with J.J. Dillon, as head of talent relations at the time. So I meet with J.J. and Vince, and I'm just sitting there. And of course, it's a great opportunity, you know, so you're trying to.
And you got to keep that mindset.
Exactly.
Right?
So I'm sitting there. Meanwhile, inside, I feel literally like I'm just shrinking.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, man. And Bruce Pritchard told me that was actually Bobby Heenan had always wanted to have a wrestling dentist. And that's where Vince got the idea from, and I was lucky.
Lucky you come down the pike, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I wish it now, but like felt bad, like come back, like, man, we had a great match in Tennessee. This guy's gonna be huge, you know. Yeah, he's gonna be our dentist. Like, oh no.
Isaac, don't worry about it. Don't be scared. Just bust those teeth out. Use that big right fist of yours. I want to see his teeth rolling around on that ring floor. Come on, do it.
It was rough. I remember you having a talk with me, and we'd had a match on TV, and it was awful. It was terrible.
I've had a lot of those.
No, this one was my fault, straight up. I wasn't aggressive. I didn't want to be there. And you told me, dude, Vince likes you, I like you, but you're going to have to be more aggressive and have to be more assertive. If you want to survive, if you want to thrive in this business.
Look at that. And Yankem has no idea how to deal with the Undertaker at all. No.
That's actually one of those things that, for me, flipped the switch.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't had that conversation with me, I would have just packed my bags and went home.
That was all that I was kind of trying to relay to you, is like, you know what? You got to look past what you've seen on TV, because you're here now, and you're here for a reason, and you got to be a killer. You got to be, and you got it. And once that light came on, there, you were on your way.
A couple years later, I got a phone call that you needed an opponent, and they were going to put me under a mask. And now, what I gather from this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this all came about, that they were gonna put me under a mask, call me Inferno. I was like, you know, Bruce and I talked about the Inferno thing, and it was like, no, that sounds, you know, so Bruce and I helped with the name Kane, you know,
Right.
with the whole Kane and Abel,
Right.
and, you know, you being Kane initially, and of course Bruce's son being Kane later. How did all that come about? Because I've never even asked you how that happened.
Yeah, so I want to say it was Bruce that initially came up and said, what if? You know, what if Kane? I mean, as soon as I heard Kane and brother, lights started going off in my head. Like, this could be great, because I knew you. You know, it was just like, oh my gosh, you know. And I saw it all. I didn't see us in our characters, but I could see it. Like, man, this is great, because I knew how well you matched up against me, and you know, we did things really similarly in a lot of different instances, and then like you say, Kane, and I was like, wow, I was Kane the Undertaker, because when I first came out, they called me Kane the Undertaker.
Yep.
Kane, the Undertaker!
You know, it was like, did he call himself Kane the Undertaker in memory of his brother that he thought was dead? I wish I could take credit for it, but once I heard it, then it was just like my mind started going, and it was like, okay, we could do this, we can do this, we can do that, and I was super excited. That I knew was like, I knew it was gold.
Yeah.
I just knew it was.
Okay, so you're coming back from the dead, you gotta hand you the middle. Like slow towards, there you go. There you go.
I was told that it initially was like going to be a one-off. They needed an opponent for you for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then
I think I don't remember who they were trying to get me ready for, but I
Right.
just needed an opponent, you know, that was huge and I could overcome something and get me ready, and then it turned into
and then everybody liked the idea. It's like, well, man, we need to.
it turned into a 23-year program.
It was.
I'll kill you right now if you tell them the truth. Tell them the truth! Tell them the truth! It's the truth! Kane told me! Kane told me!
What?
Kane told me! He's alive! Kane is alive, Undertaker! Your brother Kane is coming! You, Undertaker, are gonna burn in hell! Undertaker, I promise you, you'll burn in hell!
He's alive.
Oh, so good. He's alive.
Yeah.
I can't hit it. I can't hit the notes, Paul, but it was just like, what? People were like, what is he talking
Yeah.
about? He's alive.
Undertaker! You burnt the funeral home to the ground! You killed your family, Undertaker!
I mean, as far-fetched and over the top it was, it really wasn't. You know, people can like, oh man, he set his little brother on fire,
Yeah.
and his little brother took the rap and he got burned. I mean, it was just like, well, no wonder he's messed up, you know?
And I have never seen an apparatus ever quite like this in the history of the WWF.
I'm told that the structure is over 1 ton in total weight and has been reinforced in every possible place.
When you look at the Hell in the Cell, the actual structure in the match, that was for Kane, right? It was.
Yeah,
that
it was
kind
for
of the
you to
idea.
tear
Yeah,
that door off.
You know, no one could get in or out, and then you got the dude that was able to get in.
Oh my God, wait a minute, it's Paul Bear! It's Paul Bear! And that's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
And I'll never forget too, yeah, just walking out, and it was, man, I'm actually getting goosebumps, because it was like the music hit and the lights went dark, and you know, and then bam, and then the whole place for a second, there's a silence.
Oh my God, he just ripped the door off its hinges!
You know, you got Vince screaming on the headset, of course, to the people at home. But people in the arena are like, they're doing the same thing. It's like, that's the dude they've been talking about.
Look at the size of this human being. or is that a human being?
One of the most iconic stare downs ever.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Kane! That's gotta be Kane! The Undertaker! Looking at him, looking to the eyes of that giant who stands in front of him! Is that his younger brother?
And I use that example for storytelling. I was trying to be Undertaker, but here I am face to face with someone that I thought's been dead and gone, and someone's looking eyeball to eyeball, if not taller than me, and I'm trying not to show the, as I'm showing it, it was so cool.
What's this? Oh my!
I can remember the Rumble. It was just like, this is gonna get good.
The Undertaker!
Tombstone!
Undertaker! Set up for the tombstone! Driven down to the canvas!
This is shocking.
So then I get to run through everybody. I often say 1997 was the best year of my career because I just destroyed everything in my path.
We are going to walk through the World Wrestling Federation. Take each wrestler one by one and destroy them until we reach you.
I will never fight my own flesh and blood. I will never fight Kane.
Do you remember the deal that night was I was supposed to slap you upside the head? Okay, I was just gonna go out, Paul Bearer does this thing, and then I slap the Undertaker. And I'm like, man, there ain't no way I'm going out there. Slap the Undertaker. Okay, so do you remember? And then I asked you in the locker room, I was like, man, I need you to slap me because I can't go out there and slap you.
Dude.
And then, so I asked you to slap me, like, why? And finally I'm like, dude, I can't, I got too much respect if you go out there, so you have to slap me. You hit me so hard. I was just like, there was no more, I'm reluctant to slap the Undertaker. I was like, I can't wait to get out there.
I'm getting mine back. That no good son of a bitch. He just knocked the crap out of me. Oh, that's funny.
What a beautiful family portrait this is! He suffered for 20 years, and it's all your fault!
Oh, man! How much more of this will The Undertaker take? Maybe not much more. The two brothers looking eye to eye. What must The Undertaker be thinking right now? It's like looking into his own soul.
Had the Rumble, San Jose, I think.
Yeah.
Kane is assaulting his brother. We thought he could not help it. Paul Bearer is coming down here with a smile on his face. A choke slam into the casket. And the lid is shut. The Undertaker is in that casket. It has been locked. That's an axe. What is he doing? Obviously, he's destroying the casket, but The Undertaker is in that casket. What is that? Is that gasoline?
Yeah, because they still talk about the fact that the fire marshal wasn't really happy because the casket was a lot.
Yeah.
The flames were much higher than had been shown to him.
In rehearsal, the fires got a little, they were a little more intense.
You're off TV and we're still destroying everything and talking about you. And then we got to the match in Boston. That was our first match in WWE, right?
Yeah.
Since I've been Kane.
Yeah.
And that, remember Paul Bear's put his hand on my chest, and my heart was just going, thumping. And he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is awesome."
There he is! The Prince of Darkness!
I mean, that was exciting because I came back with a real Lord of Darkness look and the druids with the torches.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And to be standing there watching it. I mean, it wasn't Mark, it was The Undertaker.
Yeah.
What a hellacious matchup this is going to be!
It was pretty exciting. I mean, that was a huge build, and you know, you're getting ready to pay it off.
I've never seen anybody manhandle The Undertaker like that, JR. For 28 years, Kane has dreamed of this moment. The Undertaker is being destroyed by his own brother.
The character was so strong, and a lot of people couldn't grasp this thought. Like, you can elevate your career and get beat.
The Undertaker with a tombstone, planted him. Kane has been drilled. That will be all. Oh, God! What? Nobody's ever done that.
When you beat me at WrestleMania 14, it took 3 tombstones.
Can he do it twice? Yes, he can. Hell, this has got to be it. Undertaker's trying to kill his own brother. This will be all. Oh, Kane kicked out.
Never ever happened before. So it made me an even bigger character than I had before. I lost the match, but people are like, "Oh my gosh, he kicked out."
Yeah, because at that point, nobody had ever kicked out of a tombstone before.
Yeah.
This would be the 3rd tombstone. Yes, he got it. And will this be enough? My God, what will it take if it's not? Yes, The Undertaker has won this match.
And it's interesting how the psychology of the business, really, if it's done correctly, everybody benefits.
We have witnessed a war, ladies and gentlemen. A war that is far, far from over.
And I tell people this all the time. I think our story is probably the greatest story ever told in WWE, because it never stopped. It never stopped evolving.
We did cool vignettes, and one of the best, my favorites, was the one at Nassau Coliseum where Paul and I had dug up Mom and Dad.
He didn't get to attend their funeral. So I decided that Kane and myself would go out and dig up his poor old mom and daddy and bring them right here.
And Paul Bearer is singing "Digging Up Bones" as he's pushing a coffin out to the stage, which then I chokeslam you into.
You chokeslam me into my own mom's remains.
Yeah, it's like so ridiculous conceptually.
Yes.
But it's the greatest stuff ever.
Burn, 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 burn! Yeah! Rest in peace with your dead mama. Come on.
Yeah, and there I am left inside my
your parents'
mom's
remains.
casket, right? Oh, so good.
Somebody get some fire people or something out here and put that fire out of the casket. King, he's in his mother's casket.
Throwing lightning bolts, and to my knowledge anyway, it's the first time that WWE got into kind of those sort of special effects. And I'm throwing fire.
I don't know what you're gonna do, but come on. Oh, God! I mean, enough is enough.
Really taking the wrestling part of it and putting a lot of drama and a lot of theater into it.
Absolutely.
It's mythology.
The only thing that you can do now is rest in peace.
Right, you have these two characters, and they were almost in their own universe, away from everybody else in WWE, and this crossover deal. But yeah, you had this backstory, and they were larger than life, and they had supernatural powers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the first ever Inferno match.
I actually thought the Inferno match was one of the best matches we had. I was really
Absolutely.
happy with it.
When they pitched it, I was like,
I thought it was great because I was just, anything that they would have told me, I was like, oh, I'll work with the Undertaker again.
well, yeah, no, obviously, I never had a problem wanting to work with you, but it was just like the ropes are going to be on fire.
Yes, well, see, you've been there for like 10 years. I'm still brand new, so I'm like, oh yeah, the ropes are gonna be on fire. That's awesome.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is amazing.
Do you remember how hot it was in there? And that's one thing always kind of caught me off guard is like when they would do the pyro burst, how much air it sucked up,
Yeah.
The ring is surrounded by fire. This is hell on earth.
And it was like, both of us kind of wore a lot of stuff in the ring anyway.
Yeah.
And then
And the long hair.
The
and all
long
the
hair,
stuff,
and then we
yeah.
had the stuff on us and all that other. It was just like when that fire burst would go off.
The night before, we were supposed to rehearse it, and Paul and I had to make a show. Some was Fayetteville or something, because Greensboro is where the
Pay-per-view was, yeah.
So we went into that thing cold. We
Yeah.
didn't have time to rehearse it or anything. I don't even know. Did we even get in the ring and they lit it up beforehand?
I don't think they did. No, it's probably the best.
Yeah.
You
You want us to go there?
you wait a minute. We're gonna do what? and the ropes are gonna do what?
Kane's on fire.
Yeah, you got you're crazy. You got the wrong guys for that one.
Back in the fire. The Undertaker has done it. The Undertaker has won the first ever Inferno match.
What was really cool, though, was for me, was even though my program with you was essentially finished at that point, we still had a lot of crossover and they still kept me in the mix. Then we come to King of the Ring, 1998, where I always get hot at Mick about this because I won my first world championship that night. No one remembers it because Mick went off the cage. That's all anyone talks about.
When he went through the cell, that was generally scary.
That's it, he's dead.
It wasn't supposed to happen like that. And I honestly thought it was going to be a lot more catastrophic than it was.
I'm backstage watching it, and when he went through the cage, of course, I was horrified, just like everybody else.
Right.
And then they check on him, and he's okay, and everything. And then Vince looks at me, and Vince says, because you guys are coming back out at the end of the match, right?
Right,
That's
yeah.
the finish.
Yeah.
And Vince looks at me and says, if he can't go back out there, you're going to have to figure out what to do. And I'm like, I'm going out there with Austin, and if I lose the match, I got to set myself on fire. So there's a little bit of pressure on me. I'm like, we got all these riders, dude. Why are you looking at me?
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah. But we did. Nick was able to come back out and finish the match. You hit Austin with the chair, which allowed me to become world champion.
I give you the World Wrestling Federation champion. I give you Kane.
And then the next night in Cleveland, Austin beat me, which actually is, I always tell people that was even cooler than being world champion because it felt like that was another launch pad for the business to take off.
Kane misses that foot. Austin drops it. It's Stone Cold. Hooks the leg. Yes.
But then you come out to run Austin off.
Look at this. Undertaker's in the ring.
And then that was kind of the first time
Yeah.
that people saw Brothers of Destruction. First
Yeah.
time we were in the ring together.
What an auspicious occasion. I can't believe it, there. Kane and The Undertaker.
That set the imaginations off like, oh,
Yeah.
A spike. Yeah, no. Good God almighty, a spike tombstone.
these two get together, yeah, I'd already, in my head, I'd already seen it. I knew it eventually was going to happen. There's only so long that you can keep these two guys apart.
There's no doubt that Undertaker and Kane combined make the most destructive force in the history of the World Wrestling Federation.
We had a good run, and we did a lot of good things. And my favorite iteration, though, was when you were still Kane, and I turned into the American Badass.
How does the American Badass thing come about?
Truth be told, with that is like so we're moving into that Attitude Era, right? And two, as great as that character and everything that comes with it is, you're handcuffed. You're handcuffed a little bit to what you can do and what you can't do. Our product is evolving now, and the storylines are changing, you know, and it was just a matter like, I don't know that this character is going to be able to sustain this part of the business.
Here comes the real American Badass, The Undertaker.
I needed to change. I needed to do something. And I'm not sure that the character or I would have survived if I hadn't gone the American Badass.
Really?
I probably could have survived it, but it was nice to have that little bit of fresh air.
This place has just gone crazy for the American Badass, The Undertaker.
Well, here we are, middle of Death Valley, and the current fleet of Undertaker motorcycles. This is really a special part of my career, being able to do this now. You know, it gives them an opportunity to see a little bit more of, you know, what I am away from wrestling. And to be able to ride a motorcycle into an arena, I mean, it's just one of the biggest rushes for me.
And from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 330 pounds, The Undertaker.
We had some fun matches too.
Do you remember the one, Kane?
That was entertaining, and that just happened, right? I mean, that wasn't planned.
I messed the last ride up.
That was one of the funniest unplanned things ever. Like, because those guys were so light, right? And we were used to working with such big guys, right? So it was like, we're going for the double finishes. We're going to double last ride Kane, right? And then you take your guy and you flip him up over your head.
I never knew why you put you would grab their tights.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I flipped him up, and when I lifted him,
he was gone. It was gone. So, being the big brother that I am, I give the last ride.
I think Big Brother just said to Kane, let me show you how it's done. Last ride, the taco.
You know,
well, I grabbed him. He was back here, and somehow I ended up grabbing him. But it was awful. It was terrible.
It was awful, right? And then it was like, and then it was so good because it was like Big Brother was trying to show Little Brother how to do this, right?
And we're ad-libbing all that too.
Yeah, it's all ad-libbed, right, on live TV. I'm like, no.
And now Kane gonna prove to Big Brother that he can do the last ride to Falaki. And Undertaker nods his approval.
Goodbye. Here are your winners, Kane and The Undertaker.
I wish that we could have took it a little further with the Brothers Destruction, but there might not have been a roster left of anybody.
No, it's true.
These brothers united, and by God, when they're together, hell hath no fury like these two.
You have two massive guys with two massive supernatural gimmicks. I mean, like, who are you going to book these guys with? You know, were you going to get Zeus and
right, exactly, yeah.
You know, and Hercules? Or I mean, that was kind of our downfall. Like, you just couldn't book anybody with us. I mean, it was just, we were just too overpowering.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that can stand up to the Brothers of Destruction?
Not in this galaxy.
And everything moves so fast too.
Yeah.
You know, and for better or for worse, like SmackDown is a show by that time, so you needed twice the content. And I was like you, there were points in my career, you were talking earlier about when you switched to the American Badass, and that really saved your career. I always poo-pooed the idea of artists when they get burnt out on stuff. You know, how can you ever do that? And I got there a couple times. Yeah. I just like, this is boring. I'm not having any fun. And, you know, don't get me wrong, great job. I'm very blessed to be in that position.
What'd you think about being involved in the commercial?
Fun. Excellent. Pyro. So, you know, I took the mask all the way off. And in 2003, and a lot of folks thought, well, that wasn't a great idea. The only people that were really behind it were me and Vince. How did you feel about that?
No, I was just kind of curious. My only reservation about it was, okay, he wears the mask because he's burnt.
Right.
You know, and that was my only concern about it. I mean, I understood the philosophy behind it. You know, and I mean, you have to keep that longevity and to keep the character fresh, you have to do drastic things like that.
Come on, do it, Kane, do it!
I don't know if we want to see this.
Yeah, I do want to see it.
We've always speculated.
Here it comes. What the hell is this?
His hair came up.
Oh my God!
Wait, no! Van Dam came to help Kane! What the hell?
What the hell is that? Get a shot of that face!
Is that a human?
When I first took the mask off, Kane transformed almost from a physical monster into a psychological monster. You were talking about why isn't he scarred? And my idea behind that was the scars were on the inside.
Right.
That he thought he was deformed, and that's why he had to put on a mask. And that made Kane even more maniacal because there's really nothing physically wrong with him, but he thought that there was.
That's right.
Demented, evil, sinister.
Kane is no doubt a living, breathing monster.
A burning dumpster didn't stop me. Crashing me into a tractor trailer didn't stop me. Don't you get it? There is nothing that can stop me.
For me, it just really, I don't even want to say it freshened up the character, it changed it, it became a new character. Also for me personally, as a performer, it really was like, oh gosh, I feel like I'm just starting my career all over.
Tonight, I will once again feast on fear and suffering.
Yeah, because you're allowed to do things that you weren't allowed to do before. There was just so many layers to those two characters, and they intertwine so well. That's one of the things I'm really most proud of. Just the story alone, not the body of work, but just the story.
It's Kane! It's the Undertaker's brother, Kane! What the hell is he doing here?
You dumped a front end loader full of dirt on me.
Yeah, it was great.
The Undertaker has been buried alive!
I still hold a little bit of a grudge against that.
It's WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden.
The return of the dead man! And Kane is obviously beside himself. The Undertaker has Tombstone pile-driven his demented brother Kane all the way to the outskirts of hell.
In 2010, I'm still maskless, and we had another run.
Kane has defeated his brother. I am in absolute shock.
I beat you 3 state pay-per-views.
You kicked the crap out of me, man.
What we've seen transpire, Kane has completely dominated his brother, The Undertaker.
The saga is over. My brother is never coming back.
I remember along the way, though, you were saying that's never happened, and you know the real reason was to try to elevate Kane again, and that's something you did throughout your career. You know, even though you didn't lose a whole lot, when you did in the early days, it was like, oh my gosh. Like when Austin beat you, that was like, to me, that was like when everybody's like, Austin's the man, he beat Undertaker.
Yeah.
The Undertaker just got beat with a stunner. What? That takes a hell of a lot of class. That's a man's man right there.
it was the opposite of being selfish. You'd get so built up that when someone finally beat The Undertaker, it was like a huge deal, and they were a superstar, megastar. I have to ask you this, but we get ahead to WrestleMania, we see you and Brock. And my reaction when I was watching that, I thought the finish got messed up.
Going for a triple! A third F5 to The Undertaker! Brock Lesnar into the cover, hooks the leg, the streak is over.
I'm speechless.
So are 75,000 people here.
I was like, they're gonna restart the match or something, 'cause something got screwed up. And they didn't. I walked out of the room. I was literally so mad about that, you know, because it's just, you know, and I know that the streak wasn't something that anyone had ever planned, and it's just something that kind of organically evolved, but it had become part of WrestleMania lore at that point, you know, and, you know, people came to, they came to see The Undertaker, and they came to see all the stuff, and then at the end, they also came to see 20-something and and it just didn't have the same feel when it was
21 and 1. Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
I got to the arena that day and I was going over.
Okay, right.
I mean, we had gone back and forth, and when I had showed up, I was going over. And through the course of the day, Vince come to me and said he had changed his mind. And I was like, okay, all right. I said, I don't think Brock needs it, but you know, at the end of the day, it's your show and it's your call. And if you're sure about it, then that's what we'll do. And that's part of the business, obviously. That's what we do. I thought there would be somebody like Roman. I think Roman would have been fine.
Yeah, I just feel that it would have made Roman, you know, it would have put even more luster.
Yeah, you know, and you know, unfortunately, with my thing with Roman, you know, I was just, you know, I shouldn't have been in the ring that year.
Yeah, well,
I was just too beat up. My hip was too far. I couldn't get anything. I couldn't train. I was I looked like bloated Elvis. I mean, it was bad, and that I genuinely felt bad for, because you know, I wanted to give Roman that match.
Had much the same experience. One of my dream matches was always Brothers of Destruction versus DX. So we finally get the match.
Tonight marks the first time ever that D-Generation X and the Brothers of Destruction will meet in a tag team match.
You're thinking, okay, I don't care how old we are, you know, what kind of shape we are, there's a little bit of talent within those four guys. There's a little bit of experience. Everybody's just so, you know, in tune and knows how to work. I was like, this is gonna be cake. This will be great, and it will be easy. And Lord, it was everything but.
Everything that could go wrong did.
Oh yeah,
You know, Trip tears his pec.
early. I mean, I was in the first, 5 minutes?
Oh my God, up over the top. Hunter hit hard. Hunter hit hard.
Yeah, I was in there with him, you know, and I knew something was going on, and I didn't know he had a torn pec, but I'm trying. I was like, dude, just, you know, don't do this. And he's like, I'm fine. And some of my folks are watching it back home, and someone says, what if his mask comes off? He's like, that never happens. Sure enough,
the mask comes off.
Shawn Michaels hit Kane so hard that Kane's mask came off his face.
And that had never, ever happened.
Right? That was just a sign. It was not supposed to happen.
It just didn't turn out like any of us would have wanted it to.
It is absolutely incredible. The passion, the emotion that was displayed tonight.
You know, 15 years earlier.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
It'd have been awesome.
It would have been great. It's just been a hell of a ride. My goodness, who knows where our careers would have been if they haven't intersected. I challenge anybody to come up with a better story that has lasted that long, and just to be able to be relevant now That means a lot to me. Obviously, you're a vital part of that, and our history together, you know, against each other, with each other.
Can't kill what won't die.
You do have people that are very instrumental in your career, but also in your life. There are these inflection points. Someone comes along, you can look back on your life and say, if that hadn't happened, all the good things that happened to me wouldn't have taken place. Right. And you're a large part of that for me.
The feelings are mutual, man. Our friendship outside of the ring, it's really special to know that you know, we were so instrumental in each other's paths, our career paths. It's really cool. Who's to say that it's even over?
Brother, I appreciate it, man.
Hey.
So, thanks, buddy.
Big fella.
We just killed the mics. They told us not to hit.
Ah, dang it.
Sorry about that. Did I actually knock it down? All right.
We'll fix it in post.